is this working? Right, let's move that back a bit, shall we? It's a bit zoomed in. There we go. Microphone forward, that back. Let's see how this goes on. Right, now this, can we move that up a little bit? Oh, there we go. Right then, if I change this to that. And now, oh, okay, good. Now this hopefully means I can see the comments. And yeah, hopefully this is working now. Apologies if you were on my live a little bit a minute ago, because some technical issues came to light, so we had to stop that. And yeah, I've been messing around with that ever since, so apologies about that. But yeah, I've got I think I've got it working now. Fingers crossed it works anyway, and hopefully you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you I don't know, say yes? Just type yes. That'd be very much appreciated if you could do that. Thank you very much. Because I don't know what's going on. I hope people can hear. I can't see the comments either. Right, I can see the YouTube comments over there. Please say you can hear me, otherwise the live is very pointless. I don't know if people can hear me or not. Do let me know. Do let me know. If someone could just write a quick yes in the comment to say that you can actually hear me, that would be good. Because I've been having some technical issues this morning. And so I could just do with finding out if you can actually hear. But anyway, if you can hear me say ask any questions, then yeah, feel free, ask away. I'm here to assist, but no one has commented as to yes, you can hear me yet, which is a concern. I think you can. I think it's working. Do mortgage brokers have a similar power trip problem like parking attendants do? Oh, I'm sensing a bit of dissatisfaction there with that comment. What's the problem there? How much do I and my partner need to earn for a 500k mortgage? So is the 500k the actual borrowing amount, or is that the asking price of the property? Let's assume it's the asking price of the property. So you're going to take, 10% deposit. You're going to need a combined income of about 100 grand on that, because you're going to look to be borrowing about asking price. Okay, so let's assume you're putting down a 10% deposit, then you're borrowing 450, so you're going to need a combined income about 100 grand. Actually, you could probably get away with a bit less. Let's do that times by yeah, actually times that by 5.5. Yeah, you're probably talking about 85 grand actually. Andrew, hello. Can't include my bonus. Yes, you can. 75% loan to value. What are the best rates out there at the moment? Looking at NatWest Mortgage at the moment. I don't know your circumstances, so I can't give you rates because they may not be applicable to you. So I don't really give out rates on a TikTok live unless it's very generic to say the lowest rate out there is about 3.7. I can't give specific ones. What are the most important things to know before getting a self-bid mortgage of around 250? Well, look at whether the lender's going to pay you up front or in arrears. There's different types of loans to value, tends to be about 80 to 85. So if you want to maximise the borrowing rather than less deposit, then you'll obviously look at the 85% lenders loan to value. But yeah, very important to decide whether you're going to need the money up front or in arrears of the work being done. Can I get a 95% mortgage on a new build flat? Yes, I think you can. I'd have to double check it. I've not done one myself. Do all lenders look at all open current accounts? Yeah, generally, because they've got to do a full assessment of your finances. They want to know if there's any big commitments that have not been declared. Actually, I had a client who it was evident from their bank statements that they were paying money into another account. I've then asked for copies of that account, and it is just gambling. And I'm like, wow, that's something serious. Can you get a multi-million-pound mortgage if your wage is big enough? Yeah, if you can afford the borrowing, you can do it. Just about to leave uni and have a student debts to start paying. Any advice on saving for a house? So with regards to student debts, you only obviously start repaying it once you earn over a certain threshold. If you are not repaying it, then it doesn't come into consideration. Now it'll come off your pay like just tax. So if that's not happening, then there's no issue to be concerned about it. Do we fix for 2 or 5 years? I can't answer that on TikTok. I'm afraid that's straying into giving advice, which due to working in a highly regulated industry and compliant one, can't offer advice. I need to know your full details. You see, your full circumstances to make sure that that recommendation matches your needs. What fees are involved in a house purchase of 95k from a sibling if the house is worth 150? Solicitor fees. So conveyancing, you're going to want a survey or not? Probably not. It depends how much you trust your sibling, I suppose. What else would there be? Broker fees, but that's about it really. Thoughts on running a bridging alongside a mortgage to break the chain and speed up purchase? You wouldn't be running a bridging alongside them. I see what you mean. You're taking out a bridging so you can buy the new house and then pay it off. So I see you'll pay it off with the proceeds of sale and then a new mortgage. Yeah, if you want to do that, then that's exactly what I do. It'll bridge the gap. So yeah, it'll work. Is it possible to get a mortgage on a 0-hour contract? Yes. You just need to provide 12 months worth of pay slips so we can see your annual pay and go from there. How get a mortgage in bad credit? So it depends what the reasons behind the bad credit are. What we're talking? Are we talking CCJs, defaults, all that kind of stuff? That's what we need to know. Approximately how much does a survey and solicitor cost for a 3250? If it's just a purchase, the solicitor's probably going to be in the region of £1,600 to £1,800. These are very rough, by the way. A survey, £600 to £800, roughly, very roughly. CCJ, okay, so it depends on the details of the CCJ. How much was it for? How long ago was it? Is it settled? What was it for? But if that's pretty much all there is, yeah, there are more lenders out there. Are buy-to-let mortgages going down too? In terms of rates, yeah, there's some slight reductions in there. If I had several payments and defaults at 20, will it pose problems when I'm 28? No, because they'll not be showing on your credit file anymore. Things show on your credit file for 6 years. So yeah, if you're 28, there's 8 years that have passed. So yeah, you should be fine. Leads me on to, if anyone does want a copy of their credit file, there's a link in my bio, so you can go and get a free Check My File report, which is the best one because it reports on Experian, Equifax and TransUnion all in one report, and it's very good. Do all brokers have a fee? No, there are some free ones out there. If you've offered over the asking price, will some mortgages be rejected as the house is overvalued? Absolutely, yes. That's a real risk. Can refugee visa holder get a mortgage? Yeah, you can. Because then you've got indefinite leave to remain, haven't you? So yes. Nice to know. Thanks. Do mortgage brokers only see the current credit report? They can't see before. No, your credit history is for 6 years. So from now 6 years back, it's like a rolling date. So yeah, a rolling date. Right, this is also going live on YouTube, but there's no comments on YouTube. Oh, I've got to sign into chat. Oh, I don't know what that means. But anyway, let's stick with TikTok. You are welcome. Promotion at work and no probation. Will we have to reapply for the mortgage? Offer already been accepted? No, you'll be all right on that. Due renewal next year. Can I expect any better interest rates? Hopefully. I know the trend at the moment is that the fixed rates are going down slightly, very slightly. Each update is a very slight decrease. So if that continues, then fingers crossed. Heard the stamp duty is coming to place over 3k next year. Is that true? Yes, it is. At the moment, that might change, but at the moment it is due to change on the 1st of April. Do you know the current nationwide rates for 90% loan to value? I do. Thank you. But I don't give them out on TikTok because they might not be suitable for your needs. I've been told due to my credit score, my interest rates will be 7%. Anyone can do a better rate. It's not because of credit score, it's the content of your credit file. That suggests to me that you're having to go to a credit adverse lender who naturally charge higher rates. So how do mortgage lenders get funded? Surely they need an absurd amount. No, they borrow the money to lend you. That's the way it works. They don't have pots of money sitting around to give out. They will, if you apply for a mortgage, they will borrow that money. And that's why rates are changing all the time. So they will borrow your 5-year fixed money at a certain rate, put a bit of a margin on it, and that's the rate they give you. Please explain the student mortgage. There is a couple of lenders out there who provide a mortgage to students to buy a house where they can then rent out rooms within the property to friends on that basis. There's only a couple of lenders that do it though. Does student loan repayment affect mortgage? It affects how much you can borrow. Mine is 7.5 because I had a CCJ. March is the month I hope to move. So, just someone else. Is that the one that was the 7%? Was I a mortgage broker in 2008? No. How many days does it take to hear from a lender? For what? What purpose? After application? If you've just put an application, it can be like a couple of weeks for them to have a look at the whole application, get it all through, and get it assessed. Does a CCJ last forever? No. Like I said, everything sits on your credit file for 6 years and then comes off. What check do you do to verify bank statements and pay slips? We look through them. Pay slips, we ring employers to make sure you actually work there. There are numerous things we look out for on pay slips, particularly to make sure they're legitimate. And we can also ring employers to make sure you work there. Nationwide and other lenders have actually introduced electronic means of checking employers and employability and that kind of stuff. So lots of things. 2-year versus 5-year fixed. Generally, 5-year fixed rates are better. The affordability tends to be better on a 5-year fixed rate because of the stress testing that gets involved. But again, it depends on your circumstances, whether you have a 2 or 5-year fixed and what your plans are for the future. I just got a mortgage at 3.92. Can you see them dropping even more? Possibly. Well, to be honest, there's one's already lower than 3.92. So, yes, is the answer to the question. Does Klarna affect your mortgage application? So if it's a sort of like a split in 3 Klarna, most likely not, because that will be cleared before the mortgage completes. If it's an ongoing thing, yeah, it's just like any other sort of credit. It's a committed expenditure that you have to pay back each month. So yeah, it would do that. 3.92 is very decent. I know people paying late 4s. There's people paying 5s. There's a whole range of rates going from about 3.7 all the way up to your 7s and 8s. It just very much depends on circumstances as to what rate is most suitable for you. If I buy a second home and keep my first, can I do with a 10% deposit? What's the second? Is it a second residential property you're going to live in? Or is it going to be as a buy-to-let? If it's a buy-to-let, you need a 25% deposit. Are lenders refusing to reduce the interest even though interest rates are due? No. There's reductions going on all the time. If your mortgage is rejected, how long do you have to wait to get a mortgage again? If it's rejected, you can apply to another lender straight away. You wouldn't want to do it a few times, maybe 2, maximum 3 times, or just go through a broker and get it right first time. You know, that's simply how it is. My fix is ending and I cannot decide what length or fix to go for. Then that's why you use a mortgage broker or a mortgage advisor. Exactly the same thing. because that's exactly what we do. We talk to you about the options and what's the best way forward. Second residential property to live in. Yeah, you're going to need at least 10%. You're also going to have to pay a 3% surcharge on the stamp duty. What do I do to get interest reduced? You have a bigger deposit. The bigger deposit, generally, the lower the rate you'll pay. 5k deposit mortgage. Do you pay higher mortgage every month? No, not if you're on a tracker. Yeah, not necessarily. If you're on a fixed rate, no. Mortgage advisor's broker are the way forward. So there you go. There you go. A lot of these questions can easily be answered by mortgage advisors. Like this one just come in here. Advice for first-time buyers. Speak to a mortgage broker. You can book in a call with us if you want. We are specialists when it comes to first-time buyers because we talk you through the whole process, additional costs that are involved. We assess how much you can borrow, how much deposit you need, lots of things. So yeah, definitely first-time buyers. If you want a free first-time buyer guide as well, if you go, where's my finger? There. If you go to the website, Mellow Financial, you can download a free first-time buyers guide. How much equity can you take out of your house when remortgaging? Up to about 85% max. It very much depends on the reason why. Say debt consolidation, you might be able to go up to like 80% or 70%. It just depends on the reason why. You've also got to be able to afford that additional borrowing. For mortgage house valuation, do they look at total sale price or just the mortgage amount? They look at how much they think their house is worth. They don't look at mortgage amount or sale price. They look at how much they assess it. They see how much they think it is. You not answering me asked you few times, you skipping it. Well, maybe if you wrote a coherent sentence, I might see it. I've not seen your question, so I apologise if they go through fast. I'm a teacher on supply. How do I go about getting a mortgage? So are you self-employed or is it more contract? It's probably more contract work, isn't it? So if you're sort of a contractor, then you need to provide the 12 months worth of pay slips, and then we can work out the offer, the income from there. With an agency, yeah, so agency worker. So you're looking at your 12 months pay slips, and then we'll be able to work out your income from there, and then work out how much you can borrow. Do lenders accept benefits along with salary? Yes, they do. Stop spamming, damn right. It's all right, I've blocked him now. Don't worry about it. People who spam or are rude get blocked. Is it better to buy someone out of the house or sell the home when separate? Oh, I don't know. That's a legal thing, isn't it? That's not for me. Can you get a mortgage 1 year self-employed income? You can do. You are limited on the choice of lenders though, but you can do, yeah. Do you think we will be sub 3% next year? No. I don't think we're going to have anything starting with a 2. Not unless something catastrophic happens. Defaults. What about them? Have you got defaults? Don't know. There we go. Where's the link I need? It is there. So let me just remind you, if you want to book in a call, please do so. It's free to do so. There's no commitment. The link is in the TikTok bio. There's also a pinned video in there that tells you how to do it. You can also do it through the website, through the contact us page. Should I pay back my Help to Buy in full before remortgage or use the money towards my remortgage? It doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, whether you remortgage and take the additional borrowing to pay off the Help to Buy loan or you pay it off beforehand, it's still needing to be paid off. Thing to remember is the amount you need to pay back is 20% of the value of the house today. So you've got to get it valued by a RIC surveyor, about 400 quid. You've got to pay the Help to Buy admin fee to get it done, 200 quid. You've got to do the additional borrowing. You've got to be able to afford the additional borrowing. You've got to have the equity in your house to be able to do it. Definitely speak to a broker about it. Best to wait for IVA to clear from credit report to apply for a mortgage. It would be best to, yes, but you can probably still do it when there's an IVA sitting on your credit file. Not while you're in the IVA, but once it's complete, but still sitting on there. 2 defaults I have. Can I get a mortgage still? Are they satisfied? How long ago were they? How much were they for? Need to know the full details. Get a check my file report. Link in the bio for a free one. And then you'll have all the information at hand. My IVA is settled and have the deposit. Can I get a mortgage or should I wait another 6 months? So time is a healer when it comes to things like IVA and issues on credit files, because after 6 years they come off. When you say you've got the deposit, what have you got? Because if you've got an IVA sitting on there, they may want more of a deposit. So it just depends how long ago it was. Like I say, time is a healer. So again, we need the information off the credit file. I've paid off 2 years early. I'll be contacting you guys shortly to discuss. Nice one. 2 years off early. You've been doing overpayments. Overpayments are awesome. Does gambling affect getting a mortgage? Depends how much gambling we're talking. If we're talking, I don't know, 20 quid at the weekend, not so much. I've just turned a fan on. Let me know if that's annoying. Let me know if you can hear that and it's annoying. If it is, I'll turn it off. But if it's lots of gambling that's coming out, yeah, it might cause a problem. What I would suggest is, if you're worried about gambling on your statements, then don't gamble for 3 months and there won't be anything on your statements. If you're not able to do that, it's a problem, isn't it? So that's the route I'd go down on that. Can't hear the fan. Good. That's a result. Thank you for confirming. I'm live with my mortgage broker. Did my first mortgage in principle off my overtime rate. Doesn't sound like a very good broker. If I've had my mortgage offer, can I arrange furniture or an interest-free credit? Absolutely not. No. Do not get any credit or anything before completion. Would it be best to make overpayments each month or pay off a lump sum when renewing my mortgage? The more frequent the better. It will save you more interest. Can I get a second property on 10% residential mortgage and still get consent to let? Can I get a second property? No. You're just trying to do a backdoor buy to let, and that's the exactly reason why they don't do that. Will they allow me to have a mortgage? Who? Sorry, I've got deposit saved. About to finish a maternity contract. Start supply teaching. Should do, yeah. Is that supply teaching the same job you had prior to? If you're just about to start supply teaching, need to know the setup of that. So are you going to be like through an agency? If so, you're going to need 12 months worth of pay slips to do that, because you'll be agency worker and you need to prove your income over the year. What's the best way to take money out of a mortgage with bad credit score? Credit score's irrelevant. We need to know what the reason for the bad credit score is. Do you have any recommendations for a doctor that does lots of locums? You might want to speak to the NHS about that. You want me to recommend a doctor? What? It's through an agency, yes, but not done supply before. I'll have pay slips in the last year though. No, they'll need it because you're changing employment type. You are becoming an agency worker, so you're going to need 12 months of pay slips, I'm afraid. Can I be mortgage free by 42? If you want to, yeah. If you want to overpay the mortgage and get it paid off. If I have 100k cash sitting in the bank, how many houses should I get? Can I get a loan at 10% down? You can put 10% down on a purchase, yes. Not for a buy to let though. You need 25%. They asked, and we said refurb. When they did a credit score, they said it failed because of payment plan. So what's on your credit file? That's what they're asking. If you show me or tell me what's on your credit plan, then I'll be able to see. Get a check my file report. There's a link in my bio for a free one. There's clearly something on there that's causing you an issue. So get a check my file report. Some lenders allow 20%. Right, well, the majority are 25, so Buy to let 20, generally 25, particularly for new landlords. After mortgage offer, will the lender check employment again before releasing funds? They can do whatever checks they want, in all honesty. Whether they always do it, I'd say no. But can they do it? Yes. So that's where it comes down. If you're changing jobs, tell your lender. They may be absolutely fine with it. May cause no issues whatsoever. They may have an issue if you're going into probation. Some do, some don't. But I won't worry too much about it. Just make sure you tell your lender. How much does my credit score affect me? Is it more actually shows on the file like defaults? Credit score is not important. It's the content of the credit file. Can I take out equity from buy to let to put down for a deposit for a new? Yeah, you can. What do they look for on bank statements when applying for a mortgage? Number one, to make sure that your pay matches what's on your bank statement. It gets paid in there. Also, any large transactions, any persistent large transactions, any very persistent small transactions that amount to quite a lot, any undisclosed credit commitments, any illegal activity, quite a lot of things. Do you only need 3 months pay slips to get a mortgage? Generally, if you're employed, yes. Is having transactions of the odd gambling on your statements cause problems? It's affordable. If it's the odd gambling, I wouldn't worry about it too. What is credit file and how can I get it from my UK accounts? Credit file is a history of your credit behaviour for the last 6 years. There is a link in my bio to get a free check my file report, so go and get that. That's how you get it. Being in my new job 2 months, do you think that's long enough to apply for a mortgage? There are lenders who would do it if you've only got a couple of months pay slips. I spend a lot on online gaming. Will this be an issue? Probably, yes. How long after solicitors taking the conveyancing? How long after solicitors take it doesn't make sense. If I have a permanent contract, what? Doesn't make sense. How many months of bank statements do they check for a remortgage? 3 months. Combined income 56. What can we afford? Times the 56 by 4.5 and add your 20. That's roughly what you can get. Is there still 100% mortgages available? There are, but they're for specific circumstances. They're not just blanket. Anyone can apply to them. There's certain situations where you can. Can you get a mortgage on PIP and universal credit? Yes, you can, but not any housing element of universal credit. That has to be taken out. How long is solicitor taking with conveyancing? It depends on yours. Ask your solicitor. How many months bank statements for first time buyer? 3 months. My mortgage finished in December. Do you think I have to wait? What? My mortgage finished in December. Do you think I have to wait? What? Wait for what? Do you recommend to put as much money on deposit as more than... If the more deposit you put down, the less you have to borrow, and potentially the lower the rate. I want to move house to more expensive. I have 100k left to pay on my current house. Have most of that accessible to us. Should I pay it off current mortgage or wait? Wait for what? Until I move to put it down. Put it down as a deposit on a new one. Or you could port your existing mortgage. There's lots of things to go into there, Rebecca. There's a few scenarios to go into on that. Book in a call if you like. So what would that make the monthly repayments like? That's a stupid question, because there's so many things that go into that. Term of the mortgage, type of product, interest rate, loads of things. Can I buy a second property with 10 to 15% on buy to let? No, you need 25%. Mortgage fixed rate ends 2026. Thinking of moving 25. I have 100k equity. Will I pay exit fees? If you come out of the whole mortgage, yes. If you're able to port it, no. When is the crash coming? It's not. How can I get a point with you? You can book in a call using the link in the... hang on. You can go to the website, mellowfinancial.co.uk, and go to the Contact Us page. You can do that way. or you can use the link in the TikTok bio, is the top option there. There is a pinned video in the profile that shows you how to do it. You come across as quite arrogant. You're open to questions. Don't be so hostile. Well, don't ask a stupid question, Luke. Jeez, some people are so sensitive, aren't they? People have been thinking about another crash since 2010, never happening. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's lots of people that talk things down, but it doesn't really... You make money off selling lies and scams. Thanks, Kieran. Thanks for that. It's now a good time to sell. I feel we're at the lower end of the market. There's lots of properties on sale that don't seem to be moving. So we don't seem to have the demand at the moment, which actually might calm prices a little bit. We'll have to see. But we'll have to see that. I have noticed a lot more inquiries coming in. So is the demand starting to creep through? I don't know. I have to keep your eye on the press and see what's happening there. How hard is it to get a mortgage with a CCJ, and what rates we'll be looking at? Again, it depends on the situation with the CCJ. Like, is it satisfied? How long ago was it? What was it for? Rates, I can only tell you once I've spoken to you and I know the situation more. How can I make an appointment with you, please? You can go through the website, go to the contact us page, you can book in a call, or there is a link in the TikTok bio that says book in a call. You can do it there. Homes keep selling in Northern Ireland, maybe due to low prices. Interesting. Can I change my residential mortgage to a buy-to-let after a year? If you're in a fixed term deal, you'll probably have to pay early repayment charges to come out of that. I would suggest perhaps exploring consent to let from your existing lender, and then doing the conversion to buy-to-let when your fixed term is up, if you can. On a 5-year fixed, any way to get out of it for a lower rate? Only if you pay the early repayment charges, unfortunately. Burn the banks, buy land with your money. Government can't. Kieran, do you have a tin hat you wear to keep yourself from the 5G signals? We've got a nut job on our hands. Kieran's clearly never going to buy a house. Recently self-employed and 40. What will the challenges of getting a mortgage be? The challenge will be proving income. You say you're recently self-employed. You'll only be able to get a mortgage if you've got a year's accounts filed, and even then you'll have a limited choice lender. Ideally, you want 2 or more years' worth of accounts registered with HMRC. That's the only difficulty. Is it better to have 3k on a credit card and have money for a deposit, or pay it off? It depends on your affordability, in all honesty. So, yeah, without knowing the details, I don't know, I'm afraid. Why do banks need both passports and driving license? One is for ID and one is for proof of address. So with us, when we send out information, say we need this back, we need your ID. Now, if you're using your driving license for ID, then we'll need something else for a proof of address. Now, it could be a utility bill in the last 3 months. Shotgun certificate is one of the ones. So some stuff. How long can completion take without a chain? Possibly 3 months, if you're lucky. It's difficult to say because it does depend on like the whole conveyancing side of things. Do I need a RICS on my Help to Buy? Mortgage advisor said we didn't. If you're looking to pay it back, you need a valuation done by a RICS surveyor. I would work with a mortgage advisor who knows the process for paying back the Help to Buy loan if I were you. I'm buying a house to rent to a family member. Do I only need 5% deposit? No, you need a 25% deposit for a buy-to-let. When should you apply for a mortgage? After or before you've put an offer on the house? You only apply for the full mortgage once you've had an offer accepted, because then you know the property that the lending's going to be secured against. What you need before making an offer is an application in principle. Yeah, no worries, Jess. Get in touch if we can help, honestly. We've done quite a few Help to Buy remortgages, so we know the process very well and can guide you through it. So feel free to book in a call. 22 years, I'm currently on 21k, and my girl is on 16k in our license. How easy to get access to first home? Well, you combine your salaries and times that, potentially, if you've got a good credit history, times that by 5.5. And then as long as you've got a deposit, you should be fine. Get in touch. Talk you through it. Prediction interest rates in the next 3 to 4 years. Crikey. At this stage, I can't predict what I'm having for my dinner. All I can tell you is, from what I've read, gut feel is we're going to settle around 3.5 to 4.5 in that kind of range. So to be honest, we're kind of there, which suggests it's going to be a bit of parity for the time being. My credit score has dropped, but mortgage up for renewal. Could this affect me? So the credit score is irrelevant. It's what's causing it to drop. That's what we're going to need to know. Minimum deposit for buy-to-let. Can they use existing portfolio as a guarantee? No, you're going to probably want to take some money out of your existing portfolio. It suggests to me that you've got more. You're not a first-time landlord, so you could potentially get 20% deposit for a buy-to-let, but generally it's 25%. What are banks looking for in statements? Does it matter if we send a lot of money to friends? Well, yeah, they're going to ask why you're sending a lot of money to friends to start with. That's going to be certainly asked. They're looking for big transactions, all that kind of thing. I'm potentially going to have to... My alarm is about to go off on my phone. I've got a bit of a problem. My car is charged and I need to unplug it. Let me see if I can... Oh no. 1 second. Why are employed roles in mortgage advice so lowly paid? It's because it's not a job to get rich in, to be honest. That's why. What are your thoughts on track record mortgages like Skipton Building Society, zero deposit? There's only one track record mortgage, and that is through Skipton. It's good because the main problem that people face when they're renting is paying big rents and saving for a deposit at the same time. So the track record thing, it goes on the evidence that you've had for the last 12 months at least. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to potentially have to... Hang on 1 second. Sorry about this. I need to just unplug my car from its charging. 1 sec. I am still here, so do continue to ask your questions. How to achieve the lowest repayment when applying for next mortgage? Stop charging. Cool. Right. How do I turn? Living in job. What's the difference between mortgage broker and a mortgage advisor? Absolutely nothing. They are existing. They're exactly the same. It's just terminology. So exactly the same. Don't worry. Right. Let me see if I can. Right. I've got a problem with my camera, haven't I? Let's try this again. Oh no, it's not working. It's not working. Oh dear, we've got a problem. Oh, are we back? Aye, we are. Look at that. Look at that. We are back. Sorry about that. But employed roles giving financial advice are well paid. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, because if you're a financial advisor, you make more money than if you're a mortgage advisor. How to achieve the lowest repayment when applying for next 3 months for mortgage. So, to lower your repayments, you're going to be looking to have it over longest period of time. So loan over a long period of time reduces payments. Having a lowest interest rate as possible will help. So the more deposit you can put down, that will greatly help as well. So yeah, how hard is HMO mortgage to get for a first-time buyer? Hard. It is hard. Difficult. That is a difficult thing to do. Sorry, I'm having massive problems now. I'm having big problems. Do you have to have a full settled status in the UK to get a mortgage? No. You have to have lived in the UK for at least 12 months. And yeah, just it depends on your visa status. If you apply for a right to buy, can you also claim first-time buyer assistance? There isn't any first-time buyer assistance. What are you thinking? If you're right to buy, you're going to get the discount for the purchase. There's no other assistance, I'm afraid. It clears in December. Is there anything we can do in the meantime? What clears? We've tried for mortgage in principle, to buy a new home, but my husband's credit file had default on it. Yeah, speak to a mortgage broker and go to a lender that's going to accept the default. Honestly, people, if you try and do it yourself, you're going to have problems. If you go to a broker, you're going to get it right first time. What kind of deposit do you need to buy it from auction? A massive deposit. We don't do auction work. Do you multiply your combined salary if buying with a partner? Yes. Times it by 4.5. How much can I remortgage my house for? Well, whatever it's worth. That was with a broker. Crikey, not a very good one. Could have been a broker that operated off a restricted panel that didn't have a lender that would. So it's very important to use a broker who has access to the whole panel or whole of market, not restricted panel. Can I put down more than 10% deposit to lower the monthly payment? Yes, you can. So the more deposit you put down, the less you're going to have to borrow, and potentially the lower the rate. Can I buy cash then remortgage straight away? You might have issues with the updating of the land registry, so it won't show as your property to remortgage on land registry. Wait till it's on the land registry and then you go from there. It was through Davidson's Homes. Right, there we go. You're using the mortgage broker given to you by the developer. That kind of explains it. Are you able to use the equity in your current property as collateral for a commercial property deposit? Potentially. You're going to have to find a lender who'll be happy for you to do it. I mean, lenders are generally happy for you to put it down on buy-to-lets. So, yeah, you have to find one that does it. We could get a mortgage, but okay, yeah, because you're having to use a credit-averse lender. We are going for a first house viewing next week. Should we have an AIP first? Yes, because then you know how much you can afford. No point looking at a house if you can't afford it and getting your house set on it. On a first-time buyer, what would you advise me do first? Honestly, speak to a mortgage broker first, because then you're going to know how much you can afford. You're going to have a good idea about the process, what are the costs are involved, how much deposit you need. Get a free first-time buyer's guide from our website, mellowfinancial.co.uk. Download it for free and go from there. Is there a massive rate difference between buy-to-let and residential mortgage? It's not massive. The big difference is the amount of deposit you have to put down. How is bridge mortgage work, please? It's designed to be a short-term solution to bridge a gap. They are expensive in the interest. The longer you have them, the more expensive they get. You either pay the interest each month or it accrues into a lump sum at the end, but it is very much designed to solve a short-term gap. Good stuff. Can we use different? You can do, yeah, Sarah. Hopefully you've not paid them anything. If you've paid them a fee, I mean that's really, really poor by the sounds of it. Hopefully you've not paid them a fee. I would, explore if they operate on a restricted panel or not. It would be in the initial disclosure they would have sent to you about whether they operate on a restricted panel or a whole of market basis. So yeah, I would certainly investigate it. Are mortgage advisors and brokers at a cost, or do they get paid through the sale? So very much depends. We all get paid from the lenders. It's called a procuration fee because it covers all our costs and stuff. But some brokers and advisors charge because, you know, that's their right to do so. It's their business model. You generally get what you pay for. So you can buy property in a residential mortgage even if your first property was a buy-to-let mortgage. Yes, you can do it that route first. You can be a first-time buyer, first-time landlord, and then subsequently buy a residential property. You will still pay the 3% surcharge and stamp duty though, because you're buying a second property. Right, it has gone quiet. Keep the questions coming. Or have the questions dried up? As it's gone quiet, let me tell you what wonderful things there are for you if you use the link in my TikTok bio. Number one, you can book in a call. Number two, you can get a free Check My File report. Very, very important. Number three, there's also a link to the website. Now, if you go to the website, you can also book in a call through the Contact Us page, or get a free first-time buyer's guide. How do you get an AIP? Speak to a mortgage broker and we'll sort it all out for you. Can I remortgage a right to buy before 5 years? Depends what mortgage you're on. If you're on a 5-year fixed, you have to pay a fee to come out of that existing deal. So I wouldn't advise it, but yeah, you can do. Can you rent out of the home, not buy to let? Not without the lender's consent. If you do, it's mortgage fraud. Can I buy a house with drugs money? Of course you can. Why not? Yeah, absolutely. How will car finance impact my affordability? It will lower how much you can borrow because it's a committed expenditure. So you have to pay that back each month. So yeah, it will affect how much you can borrow. Second residential mortgage can be on a 10% deposit. Yes, if you're going to live in it, yeah. Possibly even a 5%. What can I expect in regards to interest rate coming to the end of my 2-year fixed rate soon? So many variables go into it, I can't tell you, I'm afraid. Depends on your loan to value, what sort of product you're looking at, what sort of mortgage, lots of different things. It's a minimum yearly amount required to keep a help to buy open. Are you talking about an ISA? I don't think so. What are the cons of a buy-to-let mortgages? Probably the con has been a landlord and you've got to then facilitate it and deal with tenants. Would you recommend going for an individual mortgage broker over a big company one? Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to get the decent customer service and be treated like a human being rather than just a pound sign, yeah, absolutely. Can a friend gift you a deposit? Yes, some lenders require it to be an immediate family member, but there are others who are all right with it being a gift. Do you think the Bank of England base rate would drop to 3% in 5 years? I don't know. I doubt. Possibly. Can I live in a buy-to-let house? No. What is the usual interest rates for a buy-to-let with a limited company? 75%. Again, so many variables go into it. How much fee are you going to pay to start with? What product fee are you going to pay? Lots of things go into it. That's why I can't give rates out on TikTok for specific questions, because I don't know the full situation, the full circumstances. It's just not it's not viable. Right then, it is going quiet. I have a call soon with a client, so I will start wrapping up soon. How much is too much for a mortgage? Can I get a mortgage if I started my own business 9 months ago? No. You need at least 1 year's accounts and tax returns filed for that to be able to prove your your income. How can I start limited company on buy-to-let? Well, you have to set up a limited company first and then get a buy-to-let mortgage through it. You have to have the limited company set. It has to be set up correctly with the right SIC codes for the buying and selling and renting of property. Do brokers charge 2 rates? My broker's asking for 3k, then I have to pay company 1,500 too. That's robbery. They're robbing you. They're robbing you. We charge 1 rate and that's 349. £349, not £3,000. God, you are being robbed. It amazes me how some people can get away with that. I'm selling. Can I see the valuation report my buyer's lender has come with my property? No. It's the valuation report really is just for the purposes of the lender. How long do I need to clear off an IVA before being able to remortgage? So you'll be able to do it as within the 12 months when the IVA is finished. The longer you leave it, the better, though. Time is a healer. I look tired. Oh, thank you. I am a bit tired, actually. Having to deal with some questions makes you tired as well. I'm just shocked that someone's charging someone 3k plus a 1,500 quid on top. That's extortionate. That's really bad. Wow. I'd get another broker if I were you. Really, really would. Busy making. Busy making. I like to think so. Actually, a lot of people when they speak to us, they are pleasantly surprised what we can do for them. Typical price range for a broker, I'd say the average is about 500 quid. In all honesty, but we charge 349. Help. DMP just managed. Started 2022. Paid off year early. Want a mortgage? Is it possible? Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I think so. As long as you come out of that DMP, definitely. 3k is a hell of a lot. Absolutely rip off. How does property valuation work with a remortgage? The lender will value it on today's price. They will get today's value with it. How do we contact you, Philip? You can book in a call using the website mellowfinancial.co.uk through the contact us page, or you can go to the link in my TikTok bio and there, drop down top options, book in a call. Would IVA cause any problems getting a mortgage once it's dropped off the credit file? No, it should be fine. What's the difference to buy a house in Wales versus England? Wales, you have to sit a Welsh speaking exam if you want to buy a house in Wales. You don't. Nothing really. Broker submitted application offer. Is it easy to go with another broker? Yeah, but you've gone through the process now. You've got the offer. You've had an application go through. You've had a hard search. You can do, but chances are, I don't know about that one. They've done the whole process. You might be on the hook for the fees now. They're gonna charge you a fee. Hiya, Rob. Is there any way you can get an idea of current valuation for free? Not really, not an accurate way. I mean, there's sites like Zoopla, which you might be able to go to, but yeah, not for free. What sort of things come back on evaluation? Well, the valuer's opinion of how much the house is worth, any concerns they've got about it, any comments, that kind of stuff. They have never sent me a letter with their fees, so how can I be charged? Have you signed a disclosure document, initial disclosure document? They should disclose their fees right at the outset. This broker's sounding more and more dodgy as you tell me more. Can you remortgage less than 70k remaining? Yes, absolutely, Rachel. Miss Rachel. Can you specifically set wanting to see yourself when filling out the form? Yes. When you go on to, there's a pinned video on my TikTok profile that talks you through the whole process and what you'll see. You can either select the first option, which is just the next available appointment, with regardless who it is. Then there's me in the middle, so you specifically click that one, or then there's Joe, and you can specifically book with Joe. What sort of concerns can come on evaluate? Japanese knotweed, proximity to commercial premises or pubs, that kind of stuff. Not signing anything, Nadia. Booking a call, happily discuss it with you, and I can see if you're going to be on the hook for anything. Yeah, we'll have a chat about it, see what they sent you through. I mean, how did you find this person in the first place? Are lenders always right on property valuation on remortgaging, or do we need to do it from our side? So, of course, there are two types of valuation that take place. There is the desk-based valuation, where they just use data they've got. But then there's the physical valuation, where they'll actually come and look at the property. Now, for example, if you've done extensive refurbishments, built an extension, all that kind of stuff, chances are you've added value to your property. So you're going to need an in-person valuation to do that. The lender might not do that. They might do a desk-based. So you might have to pay to challenge that valuation and get an in-person one done. So it just depends on things. Can you see my comment? I can see that one, Beth. Can I buy a house? As long as you've got income and a deposit, you generally should be able to. Does fully paid off debt cause problems when getting a mortgage? If multiple past loans but all paid? Absolutely not. If anything, that helps you get a mortgage because all your debt's gone. That's a positive. Definitely. Would buying a flat above a cafe business be possible? Yes. Again, it depends on the comments from the valuer. Right, so we are going to have to start wrapping this up soon. So do please give me a follow. Chloe, that should not be a worry at all. That should be a positive. After how many years of owning a house and paying mortgage would you be able to remortgage it? You can do it at the end of your existing product term. How long after clearing debt should I wait before applying for a mortgage to ensure I get the best? Keep an eye on your credit file. Once it's all come off your credit file and shows it's settled, then go, because the lender will see that there's no debts and they'll go from there. Brokers are credit brokers and appoint a representative of another company. Brokers are credit brokers. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, we are appointed representatives of a network. All that means is we operate, they just provide all our compliance and insurance and stuff. That's all right. Immigrant who has spent 3 years in the country and has 8 months left on current visa be able to buy? No. Right then, don't forget to follow. Let me give you a shout out about what you can find in the TikTok bio. Top option is you can book in a call, which is free, no obligation, so do that. Second option is you can get a free check my file report, so do that because they are very valuable indeed, very beneficial. Thirdly, you can also get a link to the website, or you can just go directly to the website using the address up there, or if you're on YouTube down there, and book in a call that way if you want, or get a free first time buyer's guide. Loads of stuff for you, loads of help there for you. Do please get in touch if we can help you. And I will hopefully speak to you soon, because I am afraid we're going to have to call it time and end the live because I've got a call to do with a client and some work to do. So make sure you're following.